Live from New York City, here are your hosts, Kim Fernandez and Betsy Koretnick on Sirius 112 and XM 157.
So here's the question. If you have developed some sort of reading club with your kid, or if you've done some reading games to get them to want to read this summer, you should call us and tell us. 866-675-6675. And coming up next, we're going to get some tips on how to get your kids reading this summer. It's straight ahead at Martha Stewart Living Radio, Sirius 112 and XM 157.
And now, here are your hosts, Kim Fernandez and Betsy Koretnick on Sirius 112 and XM 157.
25 after the top of the hour. It's Morning Living with Kim and Betsy. We're back.
Have you always been a fast reader?
Yes.
No, seriously.
I'm a fast reader. I love to read. Yeah.
Like when you sit down to read a book,
I can kill it.
cover to cover.
I'm trying to think of what... Oh, the book was called Little Bee. I recommend. But that's a grown-up book. Although I was thinking for my teenager, it would be a good book.
Yeah, maybe I'll pass it down as she gets older. Who knows?
It's a little a cultural thing, so I have that set aside. Of course, if I'm reading it, she doesn't want to read it. I've already read half of her summer reading.
Good to see someone's doing the summer
So
reading
the
list.
good news is that I'm reading it, but she's not. And if that's who you are this summer, or you just want to inspire your kid 365 to be reading, we have good news for you. And his name is Dr. Richard Gentry, reading educator and author of Raising Confident Readers. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Kim and Betsy.
And welcome to Morning Living. So here's a funny
it's great to be
thing.
on your show. Hey, you're doing great things to model summer reading and sharing a book with your teenager.
Okay, except that that's not inspiring anybody in my house to get on it. And she loves to read, but she doesn't want to read what's assigned.
Well, you know, one of my best tips for parents for teaching or for encouraging summer reading is to make summer reading fun.
So I should bribe her? Just kidding.
She cartwheel in front of her while she's reading.
Should I do a song and dance act?
Summer's a time when the pace slows down, and it's a great time to read for pleasure. And probably the best tip for parents is to make it fun. Don't think of it as a time to teach, but your kid probably needs a break from schoolwork. Think of it as a time to practice what you did on your trip, and that is read for pleasure, lighter reading that's informative, entertaining, or just plain fun.
Now, you're an educator. Have you always liked to read?
I have since first grade, I guess. My mom taught me to read, and that's one of the things that inspired me to write Raising Confident Readers. You know, parents are really the child's first reading teacher, and they have so much impact on what children do. And just the fact that you're reading in front of your child, you come home from a trip, and you've got news about a new book to share has incredible impact on middle school and teenage readers.
I have a question for you about reading and technology. A lot of our kids are way into computers and games and handhelds and whatnot, and the next step for them is to have a handheld reader like a Kindle. Is that something you would recommend, or would you prefer that children, the youngest especially, stick to paper books?
Oh, absolutely, I would recommend that. Amazon.com recently announced that the sale of books for its e-reader, the Kindle, outnumbered the sales of hardcover books. So there's no question that technology is having a great impact on reading, and I think kids can benefit from that. However, one of my tips for parents is to establish a routine to try to find a special time, maybe 4 or 5 days a week, to drop everything and read, even if it's only 10 or 20 minutes. And sometimes, it's necessary to unplug and read. Turn off those smartphones, the computer, your iPad, your television, and other gadgets, and pick up a book or ebook and read.